In on point one, Tamil Nadu CM Joseph Vijay is in Delhi for 3 days. He's meeting top politicians in those 72 hours. We discuss the key governance challenges facing Tamil Nadu CM. Can he build a lasting legacy beyond his electoral victory? In on point two, we discuss growing uncertainty around Europe's FCAS 6th generation fighter program and what it could mean for India. China moves ahead in race. Is India at risk of falling behind for 6th generation air dominance if key international partnership options begin to shrink? In on point three, we discuss explosive claims that a Chinese-linked tracking device was discovered inside the British Prime Minister's official car, allegedly transmitting data through a cellular module. Bilateral trust deficit widens amid security breach alarm. In on point four, we discuss why an expanding waistline may be more than just a weight issue, with doctors warning that belly fat can signal fatty liver disease, insulin resistance and deeper metabolic problems as visceral fat silently builds around vital organs. Are millions ignoring one of the earliest warning signs of chronic disease? Now, let's take a quick look at the headlines. Prime Minister Modi becomes India's longest-serving continuously elected Prime Minister, surpassing Jawaharlal Nehru's record of 4,399 days in office. Union ministers, chief ministers, NDA leaders honour Prime Minister Modi. Manipur police says mortal remains of the 6 Naga hostages abducted on May 13 have been recovered. Reports suggest Sonia Gandhi offers National Vice President position in Congress to Mamata Banerjee. Abhishek Banerjee offered the role of General Secretary in Congress. Pakistani Army helicopters crashes in POK. All 21 on board feared dead. Initial reports suggest a technical fault may have caused the crash. US President Donald Trump issues fresh warning to Iran, says Tehran has taken too long to negotiate a deal and will now pay the price. Tamil Nadu CM Joseph Vijay is now stepping onto a very different stage. As he engages with national institutions, investors, bureaucracies and coalition partners, the larger question is, can Vijay build a durable model of governance? He seems promising, but there are challenges ahead for the Tamil Nadu CM. Every new government begins with a mandate, but successful governments begin with a mission. The first test for Vijay will be answering a fundamental question. What is the larger purpose behind his administration? Winning power is one thing. Defining what that power should achieve is another. From handling complex policy questions to navigating the everyday grind of files, reviews and implementation, governance demands a different skill set than campaigning. Equally important will be his ability to articulate a long-term vision that inspires confidence beyond electoral slogans and creates a roadmap for this state's future. The second challenge lies in making machinery of government work. Tamil Nadu's economic success has historically depended on a balance between welfare, industry and infrastructure. Any perception of instability can quickly impact investor sentiment. At the same time, a largely inexperienced ministerial team will have to learn to govern under intense public scrutiny. Beyond elected representatives, there is also the bureaucracy, an institution with its own traditions. The ability to ensure efficiency while addressing corruption without paralyzing decision-making will be one of the most important measures of administrative success. Politics does not end after an election victory. In many ways, it becomes even more complex. Governing requires taking positions on difficult and often divisive issues where there are no perfect answers. It also requires maintaining message discipline within government, among allies, coalition management, especially when partners represent distinct constituencies and priorities, can also become a daily balancing act for everyone. Add to that is the pressure of slender legislative majority, and every political challenge carries the potential to become a governance challenge as well. The final challenge is about sustainability. Electoral victories can be won by personality or even fluke, but political longevity is built through institutions. Vijay will have to operate within a state where established political, social and ideological ecosystem remains deeply influential. He must simultaneously strengthen his party organization, develop a second line of leadership, and build support structures that can outlast individual popularity and even talent pool. Perhaps the biggest test will be managing expectations among supporters who expect constant political highs. Governance often requires patience, compromise, and incremental progress, qualities that do not always generate the excitement of a campaign. Whether Vijay can bridge that gap may ultimately define his legacy. On this issue, I am joined by Bhanuchandra Nagarajan, political analyst, and the input editor of News9, Brijesh Pandey. Let me straight away go to Bhanuchandra Nagarajan. Bhanu, do you think that honeymoon period for Vijay is over? The challenges are staring at him, or he will still get a long rope, a popular chief minister after a long time?
Yeah, he's going to have an extended honeymoon period, Kartikeya, and also given the fact that he's super popular, he surpassed everybody's expectations in the hustings. He's going to have a longer honeymoon period, but concurrently the governance challenges are also staring at him. As you mentioned in your initial remarks, the welfare politics of Tamil Nadu over the many decades have been built on industries and infrastructure. If you remember, like the coalition era before the NDA, the Tamil Nadu ministers occupied the industries portfolio and the infrastructure portfolio. T.R. Balu in UPA, Mursali Maran in the Vajpayee NDA, and so on. So there has been a consistent thrust, and that provided for the freebies, the welfare, and the crazy personality politics that actually characterizes Tamil Nadu. Everything was built on that, and that foundation, that edifice, is sort of under question right now. So he has cancelled the expansion of the new airport, the construction of the new Chennai airport, perhaps for right reasons, because there's so much corruption associated with it. But that has sent a wrong message to the industry, saying that he's perhaps anti-industry and anti-capital. And also the new industries minister, she's back to making Instagram reels, and she doesn't come across as somebody with a lot of gravitas. So that's one of the biggest foundations of Dravidian politics, and he considers himself as a neo-Dravidian politician. So let's see how he balances that. And the second big thing is the DMK deep state. Okay, like mentioned, like DMK has been in, the Dravidian parties have been in power for 50 years. They are ingrained in media, in bureaucracy, in think tanks and educational institutions, and they are going to provide the counter to Vijay. So let's see how he manages that aspect of the opposition.
Brijesh, your opening comments, what will be the biggest challenge for Vijay? You know, I was going through my Twitter and I saw that Vijay also has a 29-year-old minister, and that minister was abroad. Pardon me?
She is the industries minister.
Yeah, she's the industry minister, and there was a picture, I think, clicked in one of those tiger economies. I don't know whether it was in Korea or some country, and it was going viral all over the place. And I was thinking, 29-year-old industry minister, you know. So, your opening comments, Brijesh.
I would say that, you know, one of the big reason why, you know, we get politics wrong, or like your predictions wrong, is that we always judge the future with, you know, what has happened in the past. That is the reason, you know, 99.99% of the people got, you know, Tamil Nadu election wrong. The fact of the matter is that, you know, any chief minister who becomes chief minister for the first time is a novice in the game. I mean, you know, if you take Uttar Pradesh example, it was not like as if, you know, Yogi Adityanath was a chief minister before he became the chief minister, or he was in some sort of a administrative role before he became the chief minister. And such is the case of, you know, various other chief ministers who have become chief minister for the first time. They have blazed through, or rather, you know, worked the electoral success, which was phenomenal. I think, you know, Vijay still has time on it. I don't think, you know, couple of actions which Vijay has taken is going to alter or like, you know, let the industry form an opinion on him. I think he has, you know, mandate on his side. What he has done is something which has never been done in the history of Tamil Nadu election. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, he has time. You know, I would not say that he's not under pressure. He may be under pressure, but, you know, anybody who sits on the crown wears a crown which is heavy. So, I mean, you know, the challenges are there, the problems are going to be there, but I don't think Vijay is under any kind of pressure whatsoever. He can take his own sweet time to formulate his strategy. The bureaucrats, you know, it's a very, I know that taming bureaucrats is like, you know, sitting on a tiger. It's very difficult, very easy to get on, very difficult to get out. But the fact of the matter is that bureaucrats also understand that if the minister starts making sense, then they do fall in line. So, we have seen how there's certain case in point would be our own Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Where he's touted to be one of the very few politicians who has been able to, deal with bureaucracy in a fashion which has not been done by many in the past. So I think, if you ask me, I think Vijay has time on his side. I think, we'll have to give him some time so that he can put his thoughts into action. And I think we'll have to give him at least 6 months of time before we can actually start scrutinizing as to whether what he has done is wrong or the decisions which he's taking is wrong.
Point taken, Brijesh. Bhanu, what do you think in terms of where is he pivoting his governance point? Like, na khaunga, na khane dunga, that was Modi's pivot in 2014. I want your assessment. What is Vijay pivoting right now in Tamil Nadu?
See, Vijay we don't have any indications of where he is pivoting so far, because he has been learning the ropes, and apparently he's been hard at work learning the ropes of administration from the bureaucrats and senior officials. But the thing is, not only is DMK also left a huge gaping hole in the treasury. Like, there's a 10 lakh crore debt, and Vijay, in his opening remarks after swearing in, has promised a white paper on the finances, coupled with the fact that he has also promised a lot of freebies to the people. So how he balances that, and also the upside that we just spoke about before, like how to promote industrial growth, is something, the balancing of all the three is going to be very crucial. He is actually trying to create a strong CMO. So in fact, he can take a leaf out of CM Narendra Modi's book when he became Chief Minister of Gujarat. So if he has somebody like PK Mishra who can actually guide him through the initial stages, handhold him through the initial stages to see how the bureaucracy works, that will be very helpful to him. And see, Tamil Nadu is essentially a bureaucrat-run state. We have the best bureaucracy in India, unquestionably. Even during political crisis, the bureaucracy functions very well. And also, one last thing is, when you are in the chief minister's position, there are three things that you have to do. You have to manage the politics. You have to do policy making with help of experts, understand the nuances of various aspects. And last one is the administration. So he has to do all the three things really well to see how he takes the state forward. Or also, like what you said, he needs to articulate a vision of governance first. He has not done it. Like what Vijay is saying, it's too early to ask so much. It has just been a month. Let's see how he takes it going forward.
Absolutely, but Brijesh, there is also one aspect to it. Though right now he's under the honeymoon period, but he will definitely be evaluated for governance issues, which is law and order, women's safety. Those issues are not going to go anywhere, and he will also very quickly will need to tackle both DMK and ADMK politically. But do you think that his power is actually stemming from the fact that there is no leader in ADMK right now, and there is a transition which is taking place in DMK? Because that's the real power stemming. Because there's a political vacuum he has suddenly occupied. You have an old Stalin, Udayanidhi is coming into picture, and there is no leadership in ADMK. It's like a person right place at the right time and suddenly occupying the center.
Well, I think, Karthikeya, he's aware of all the things which is expected of him. And that is the reason why, when you took the decision of TASMAC, making sure that they are not, some 500 meter, I may be wrong on the distance, near any of the places of worship and all, it was greeted with great enthusiasm by the women folk. They said that not every decision has to make sense industry-wise. We all know what happened to Chandrababu Naidu. He transformed Andhra Pradesh. It was known as Cyberabad, and it was supposed to be,
And he lost elections.
And he lost elections.
He lost
election, exactly. So I'm saying that, I'm not equally that concerned about, the freebies and all, because we know the gaping hole which, the DMK has left behind. And if he comes out with a white paper, that is like, you starting with a very clean slate. So the point is that, he has won on a very popular sentiment. As you very rightly pointed out, DMK, AIADMK is in a dire strait. DMK is also undergoing a lot of, evolution on its own with Udayanidhi Stalin trying to, become the new boss, and the Congress backstabbing them. So there's a lot of flux as far as the churning as far as Tamil Nadu politics is concerned. So I think, slowly and surely, Vijay will come in his own, and he knows what to do. Because, if you look at the promises, what is surprising is that when we were discussing about the exit of Annamalai, those were the same promises which were almost the same promises which was made by Annamalai. But the tragedy with those promises was that DMK, the Tamil Nadu was ready to accept those promises, except that he was let down by the BJP.
In fact, I forgot the third name also, Annamalai. No leadership in AIADMK, no leadership in BJP, and even DMK is undergoing transition. So he's the right person at the right time.
He's the right person, but BJP missed the bus. I mean, if they would have listened to Annamalai, who knew that this kind of anger was there in the state of Tamil Nadu.
BJP would have got the numbers. Then Rahul Gandhi should have listened to Praveen Chakravarti to add, that the Congress should have had a tie-up with Vijay.
No, but very rarely. See, it's not a tie-up. I don't know. Maybe the Congress would have pulled him down. Tie-up, I'm not sure, but for the first time, the Congress showed the kind of pragmatism that is required in this cutthroat politics.
Absolutely.
But the reason I'm saying Annamalai is that Annamalai specifically insisted on it, and he almost got his due. When Amit Shah made both him and EPS.
But I do agree. But I do agree. But I do agree with the larger rubric that what Bhanu says, that he has a long rope, but long rope is a long rope. That long rope ends somewhere, and these challenges will definitely come and stay. Thank you, Bhanu. You wrote brilliantly. I enjoyed your article. And thank you, Brijesh, for joining me on my show. This is all I had on the challenges of Vijay, who is in Delhi for 72 hours. He'll be meeting various politicians. So this is all I had on point 1. But please don't go away, because after a short break, I'll come on point 2, and we will discuss growing uncertainty around the 6th generation fighter program. India is way behind right now, and the adversary is already testing the 6th generation prototype, and the adversary is China.
Any policy can succeed at the ground level only when it is backed by effective strategy, strong determination. The Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana of the Government of India stands as an example of such a well-executed decision which was launched